Now, welcome to Shakedown Zone. I've got all the news, notes, and opinions from the world of racing just for you. This week we wrapped up the regular season of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, but not before the drivers and teams gave the fans a proper thank you. The regular season wrapped up at the Federated Auto Parts 400 at the Richmond International Speedway, and to show their thanks for a great season, the drivers went 4 wide during Fan Appreciation Weekend. Okay, enough of this cuddly stuff. Let's get to racing. Since this is the last race before the chase, some of the drivers tend to get a little more testy, and Matt Kenseth rehashed some bad blood with the 2-car of Brad Keselowski with 64 laps to go in the 400-lapper. Kenseth would say afterwards that he was sure Brad would tweet out something about how it wasn't his fault. And this wasn't the only feud that was fired up on Saturday night. With 37 laps to go, Tony Stewart in the 14 and his former driver Ryan Newman in the 31 wreck, causing a multi-car accident and brought out a 20-minute red flag. The incident ruined any chance of Newman racing himself into the chase after he came into the race 22 points behind Jamie McMurray. However, it was Newman's comments after he was released from the infield care center that caught the attention of NASCAR officials.
You know, I clipped him a little bit coming off the tube, but then he just cut across my nose going down the back straightaway there, and I guess he thought he was in the sprint car again. Didn't know how to control his anger, so.
Now, those comments were a reference to an incident involving Stewart at a dirt car race back in 2014. Stewart would come back with his own comments, and NASCAR officials said they were disappointed with both drivers and that they'd be talked to prior to this weekend's first chase race. Now that we cleared all that up, let's see who won this deal, shall we? Denny Hamlin would have to take the race into overtime for 7 extra laps after a late race caution, and he would bookend the regular season, winning the Daytona 500 at the beginning of the season and the Richmond race at the end of the year, and this would be his 3rd win overall for the year. Let's hear about how Hamlin feels his chances are heading into the chase to end up with the Sprint Cup in Homestead.
I think that any one of these guys can get going. You know, you don't know what they've got at the shop waiting to come to the racetrack, so I think it's really hard to predict what happens from this point on. I mean, is it a continuation of the regular season, or has somebody been laying in the weeds? I mean, I think that obviously Larson's really stepped up his game over the last month or so. So I don't know. I mean, obviously the 4 cars got a great speed week in, week out. So he's definitely going to be a challenger, no doubt about it. The 42, and you just don't know. I mean, that 24 went on a run for about a month as well. So, like I say, until you get to Chicago, look at practice, look at how the first race goes, that's kind of, to me, the barometer of where we're really at.
Hamlin also had some interesting comments after the race, saying he's got about another 8 more years in him to race full-time, 10 if he's competitive, so he's absolutely looking to put away a few championships before then. Now that the regular season is all wrapped up, we now know who will be in the chase. The way it works is that every 3 races, 4 drivers will be eliminated. And here are your 2016 chase contenders. Racing their way in without a win is Jamie McMurray, Austin Dillon, and rookie Chase Elliott. The most unlikely to make the chase out of the field is Chris Buescher, who won at a fog-shortened Pocono race, but hey, a win's a win. Kurt Busch is in with 1 win this year, and Tony Stewart will compete in his last chase as he's on the last 10 races of his Sprint Cup career. Kyle Larson and Joey Logano round out the first 8. So the top 8 start with Matt Kenseth and Martin Truex Jr. Carl Edwards is in the 5th spot, and Kevin Harvick is in the 4th. Denny Hamlin, after his 3 wins, lands in the 3rd spot, and 2 former champs top the standings in Brad Keselowski and last year's champ Kyle Busch. They will lead the field. The interesting part of this lineup is that all 3 Joe Gibbs Toyotas are in the field, along with the 78 of Truex, who they give team support to. Okay, the first race of the chase will be this weekend with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 400 at the Chicagoland Speedway. That will be Sunday at 2:30 p.m. on NBCSN. I cannot wait to see the trophy. And if you want to drive right along with the series, the newest NASCAR video game was just released this week. Duesenberry Martin Racing actually gave me the chance to play the new NASCAR Heat Evolution game this week, and it really is one of the most authentic racing games I've ever played, and believe me, I've played a lot. It has all 23 licensed tracks from the series and a field full of 40 drivers. Of course, I love to play the career mode and try to win the cup myself. Of course, I don't get the trophy girl at the end either. So, all right, that's going to do it for Shakedown Zone this week. We'll see you next week with all the news and notes from the world of racing. Bye-bye. Take care.
I knew he was going to write. I knew it. I count on that.
All right, thanks, Matt. There's still more to come on Studio D right after the break. We're going to talk to you about an attempt of a viral video that went terribly wrong.
This is a good one.
This is hot stuff. That's just a hint.
I like that bra.
Coming
We're not
back.
talking about the outfits either.
I was going to say, you mean their breasts?
No, there's something else.
Yeah, there's